All right. So here we are, the last day of the year. Uh, the end of things um, means a lot to me. I like the end of things. I like things that end. Uh, Endings mean a lot to me. So when the year ends, it's always kind of a big deal for me. I know that time is arbitrary human construct, etc., etc., etc. But everything has the meaning that we give to it, and so on and so forth. So for me, the end of the year is significant. It's you made it, right? You made it to the checkpoint. You can kind of like archive what has happened, move on with something new. Um, Not a stranger to new things and starting over and all that. Growing up as a military kid, you know, got a chance to start over every 2 or 3 years. Um, so like things ending is good. 2023, which still doesn't feel like a real date to say out loud, but far more real than 2024, which we'll start saying in a few hours. Um, what does it all mean, right? Like, 2023 ended. A lot happened. Dom and I, we sat down for the last vodcast of the year, and we talked about how busy the year was and all the things that happened in the year, and it was a lot of things. A lot of things happened in 2023. What does 2024 have in store? That's what I got to figure out. So I have a general sense of what I want to do with 2024, and I have a lot of things that happened in 2023 that I want to talk about. One of the things I wanted to talk about was I put out a end of year survey, and I'm not gonna like reveal who answered what, but there are some things in the survey that I felt like were recurrent themes that I wanted to talk about. So I have a document open that I'm gonna like actually write notes in, and like I'm gonna just sort of like review that as like a starting point and kind of go from there. So, of the many, many, many players that I have, hey, what's up, guys? Of the many, many players that I have, the many people in our community, only 20 people filled out the survey, and it was kind of a big survey, so I get it. That's cool. Um, but looking through it, uh, the areas that I thought were kind of cool that I wanted to check in on was what people thought we should do with inspiration, what people thought we should do with hero points, and then of course I wanted to know how I was doing because you can't get better, right? Unless you seek evaluation and you learn from it. My wife and I have been watching this Christmas cookie show on a Food Network through Max. It's more than HBO. Hashtag not sponsored. And there was some old lady that was like, "Well, I'm going to win because I'm 60 something years old. I've been making cookies longer than these other people have been alive, right? So I'm going to win because I've been doing it a long time. And doing something a long time, it don't mean shit. You know what I'm saying? All the old people out there that tell you that they're better than you or they're smarter than you because they're older than you, it don't mean shit. Um, Without review, evaluation, change, growth, you will not be good. You will never get better. So doing D&D, doing tabletop for 30 years does not make me good at what I'm doing. Listening to people and finding ways to improve all the time, that helps me get better at what I'm doing. So that's the main reason that I open these things up for feedback because I really want to know, what do I need to do to get better. So anyways, we're gonna go over that stuff real quick. Let's see. So I could probably just go to the overall responses for the what to do about. Hold on, where is it? Okay. Uh, 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 where is it? Okay. what should we do with 5e inspiration? 60% of people say it should allow reroll once. I like that. So let's see, 2024 inspiration points. All right. Allow one reroll. All right, 15% said it should allow as many rerolls as you have points. 15% said it should be shared across the entire party. Eesh, communism. All right. 10% of people said it should be allowed before a roll to grant yourself advantage. 50% said it should not disappear after a long rest. And honestly, I think all my 5e groups now, you can only long rest at Sanctuary, but I do think the points going away on long rest kind of suck. It's not really creating anything positive in the game, and even the negative that's creating isn't really that impressive, right? Like, oh no, your points are going to disappear. Like, who fucking cares? You know what I'm saying? Like, if it was creating like an urgency that was affecting gameplay positively, then it might be fun. But all it's doing is being like, yeah, you don't get this anymore. Which doesn't really, it's just kind of like being a shit for being a shit, Like, so I don't really like that too much. And then that's it. So what I think it should do is inspiration points. It should be a max of 3 per player. Allow one reroll of your D20 check. Let's see. Announce before a D20 check to grant yourself advantage. Do not go away on a long rest. That seems fine. All right. Now, on to hero points. 15% think that it should give you a plus 10 bonus to your reroll. If I had voted, I would have said that you should get a plus 10 to your reroll. I think it's fucking cool. Only 30% of people thought hero cards are cool. I haven't gotten to use hero cards, but as a GM, I haven't found them to be uncool. 25% of people said to just run them raw, and 40% of people said they don't run enough Pathfinder to have it make sense. 20% of people said that hero cards should be tradable between players. I kind of like the tradable between players. I think that'd be fun. I'm surprised more people didn't want the plus 10 bonus to the reroll. My understanding is that a lot of the writers... yeah, Dom, it's going to do both. You could do both here. So we'll do or... There we go. Or we could do and or, if you really want to fucking knock it out of the park. Give yourself advantage and reroll, baby. Why not? I think it should be or, though, because I want to treat it like a fortune effect. So, like, you can only influence the die with it, like, one way or the other. I don't know. I think that might be better. Guess I should have had that in the voting, too, but... Sometimes it's just better to have advantage than it is to know you're going to get a reroll. Plus 10, I feel, makes crits too common. Oh, for sure. Oh, for sure. Yeah, you're basically guaranteeing like 3 crits per person per session, which in Alkenstar, I mean, you want to talk about speedrunning Alkenstar. You have your gunslingers just dropping 3 crits apiece, guaranteed every session. Good God. So I think for now, with Pathfinder 2e hero points, I will start allowing the cards to be traded. So we'll do hero cards may be traded between PCs. All right, that works for me. Okay, so let's look at these individual responses to see what I'm doing well versus what I need to do better. My prediction is I do great NPCs. That seems to be what I do really well. I do great NPCs. What I probably don't do well, I haven't read over these yet, but what I probably don't do well is I'm probably inconsistent with the rules. I know that's one of my areas that I have to work on all the time. So one of the reasons I was hesitant to start playing Pathfinder is because I'm just not very good at staying consistent on the rules. So yeah. Then there's the sometimes I could be a real asshole. And I don't really have a good excuse for that other than that I spent the first half of my life being a real big asshole. And I do try really hard not to be a huge asshole, but sometimes I could be a real asshole. And that's crazy considering I'm running paid games, right? And you've got like, the customer service angle, and you really shouldn't be an asshole to your players. Especially in a game that's not adversarial in nature, right? Like you're not supposed to be coming across as an asshole. So like those are probably areas that I need to work on a lot. Learning the rules, consistency in the rules, and temper. Probably need to work on temper a little bit. I gotta say, when you burn the candle at both ends and you wear yourself down, the odds of being an asshole are a lot higher than they need to be. Let's see what it is. And apologies for this cough. It's not the same cough that I was dealing with all through November and most of December. This is a leftover cough from this Christmas cold I got. I got it like Wednesday of last week, and today is the first day that I'm able to sit upright and talk and move around. And I've got like this drainage from the cold, so my voice probably sounds a little different than normal. All right, so let's see. I was very interested in the dream rosters. I'm not gonna call anybody out, but some of these dream rosters are very interesting. I had asked people in the survey, like, describe your dream group. So yeah. Can you put survey responses on stream? No, I'm not gonna put the survey responses on stream. I want people who fill out these surveys to feel like there's some anonymity there. I mean, I'll put a link to the survey if you guys want to see what the survey is, but I'm not gonna put that other stuff out. Let me see. So this is the survey if you wanted to see the questions and all that. All right. Let's see. Okay. What am I doing right? Let's see. Good community. Okay, I'll take it. That sounds good. What could I be doing better? Take breaks. Okay, so my wife told me this the other day, and I don't think that this is my wife filling out the survey, but the taking breaks thing. Oh, I mean, the graphs, I mean, it's Google Forms, bro. They're nothing to write home about. So, the taking breaks. Apparently, I'm one of the only DMs, or the only paid DMs, that doesn't have a break, like, officially built into the session. And here is why I do not have a break built into the session. For me, with my ADHD, if we take a break, I basically am running 2 sessions. It doesn't have to make sense to you, all right? It doesn't have to make sense to you. If I take a break, I am running 2 sessions, okay? If I don't take a break, I am running 1 session. I don't know why that is. It's like, as long as I'm doing the thing, it doesn't matter how long the thing is, right? Like I run these 24-hour marathons, right? Like how do you do that? How do you do that? Right. So like I don't see the point in stopping once we've started doing something. It doesn't make any sense at all. Like, I pay any amount of money to not have commercial breaks during my media. I don't want breaks. I don't like breaks. I don't like ads. I just want to do the thing that I sat down to do. Now, admittedly, when we play games like Solasta or Baldur's Gate or Wildermyth or whatever, those go on for a while. We take breaks, sure. But, yeah. I guess... Oh! Cryptic Muffin says, when I said take breaks, I meant like vacations. Oh. I'm on a break right now. What are you talking about? I'm on a break. So anyways, if you're ever wondering why we don't take regularly scheduled breaks during D&D, that's why we don't take breaks during my D&D sessions. Okay. Most people mean breaks like vacations. Bro, I'm trying. I'm going to MagFest in a couple weeks. That'll be another break. So, it's all good. Alright, let's check another one. Let's see. What am I doing right? I think you're doing a good job of learning Pathfinder 2 with your players and adapting to the new system. Okay. I appreciate that. What could I be doing better? Nothing. Damn. Alright. I'll take that. Sure. That little pat on the back there. You hear that, God? Perfect. Perfect. There's nothing I could be doing better. Alright. Let's see. What else we got? Oh, there were so many questions. Alright. Improvisation for player actions. 11 out of 10. Time management, so the role-playing doesn't drag down the session. I don't know about that. Aesthetics, top-notch. Okay, sounds good. Finding groups of players that gel together well. That's a talent when dealing with a group of strangers. Okay. Yeah, I agree on a lot of those things. That I think those are things I'm doing well. Getting the groups to gel well. It's a lot easier now that we have a well-established community, and I'm able to sort of watch people interact in our community and ask around, like, oh, have you played with this person? What's this person like? So that's made it a lot easier. Let's see. What could I be doing better? Let's see. At a certain point, it became pretty obvious that you were done with 5e. Oof. Yeah. So, I understand the sentiment. It sucks when you're in the middle of a 5e campaign, enjoying the experience. Unsure how to help alleviate this. For a time, regular rule changes were driving up the wall. I enjoy consistency, but understand need for change. Buddy. Yeah. I agree with this completely. So, when this was a hard year for me and for Dungeons & Dragons, and watching the company shoot itself in the foot from the top down. Yeah, like, it was very obvious that I was displeased with 5e as a system, Wizards of the Coast as a company, Hasbro as a corporation, and I let those feelings definitely color the way I acted and, to a certain extent, treated my existing 5e games, right? I kind of treated them like, well, I still got these assholes to deal with. And all that was pretty much true. However, the players themselves were not the assholes. Definitely the 5e vibes, I guess, were really weighing me down, and it was a lack of professionalism on my part to not stand by the product that I was still selling, essentially, right? Like, I'm like, hey, let's pay me to come play some 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons. By the way, I hate fucking 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons. It's fucking terrible. But hey, pay me to come play it, even though I fucking hate it. It's the worst. Sends a mixed message for sure. Um, my Curse of Strahd games are so homebrewed as to be barely 5th edition to begin with, and it was pointed out to me that I should have just picked a different system to run Isekai Curse of Strahd in, but I kind of wanted to prove that you could adjust 5th edition enough to run it the way I wanted to run it for 5e. As you've probably heard me and Dom talking, we both feel that 5e is a very malleable system, and it's very easy to homebrew it to get what you need out of it. That being said, I do need to, and I think I've started doing this. I do need to be a bit more attentive, right, to the fact that I'm still running 5th edition games, and playing in Red's one shot the other night kind of reminded me that 5e is still fun. It's still a fun game. It's simple and it's broken, but it's not that broken that you can't enjoy yourselves. You know what I mean? And that simplicity, it gives a lot of freedom to just tell a fun story. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. And so it was very like eye-opening experience to once again play 5e and find myself, enjoying it for what it was and for what it is. So yeah, I think that moving forward, I'm gonna definitely be a bit more. Yeah, I'm going to be a bit more attentive to my 5e games, and I want them to finish well, right? I don't want them to have that feeling of, well, they're under contract, so even though the network wants to cancel them, we're not allowed to cancel them. We have to finish up the season. Like, I don't want it to feel like that. I want it to feel as celebrated and cared for as any other game that I run. So yeah. That's something I'm going to be focusing on. There's also the whole thing about the world patch document and the rules shifting so much. When we played Baldur's Gate 3, I hadn't played any of the early access for Baldur's Gate 3, and so I was very excited about Baldur's Gate 3. Very excited about Baldur's Gate 3. And I might have shouted Game of the Year over and over again while we were playing through Baldur's Gate 3. I wanted to take as much cool stuff from Baldur's Gate 3 and add it to the World Patch document, not because I hated 5e, not because I wanted to make life more difficult for everybody, but because I was inspired to see how many of those mechanics I could add to the game. However, it was just too much. It was just too much. Some things just work better when they are tracked by a computer. Do you know what I mean? So some systems that seemed really, really fun in Baldur's Gate 3, maybe they're not going to work in my current campaigns. Or maybe they're just not appropriate for a campaign that is already in progress, right? So I definitely took what I was a decently balanced world patch document, and I just content bloated it. I just put way too much stuff into it, and I have since walked it back quite a bit. But yeah, there was a breaking point, I think, for a lot of people whose names I won't list, but they are phenomenal players, but they are players who value consistency in everything that they do, especially in the games that they play, and that was kind of a big slap in the face to those players. It was honestly a big slap in the face to all my players. So as exciting and cool as that was, it maybe wasn't appropriate. All right, we're just cruising. We got 17 more of these. Let's see. What am I doing right? Molding the story to your players, knowledge of the settings of your games, embodiment of your NPCs. That's really nice. I appreciate that. I'd say that Uh, I'd say that knowledge of the settings of your games is true to a certain extent. It's hard to know everything there is to know about Galarian. Let me tell you that. There's about 7,000 hours of lore videos I could be listening to learn more about Galarian. But at least the area where Outlaws took place, I definitely did my homework for that. Molding the story to my players. This is something I wish I did a better job at, actually. I think that I could do a lot more with this. I certainly try to adapt to the player's decisions, but as many people know, if you hand me like your 40-page backstory for your character, I'm just not going to read it. So I'm not like the best DM for taking your character and making them feel like the story is about that character. I know that there are DMs like Ark, maybe a couple others I can't think of right now, that are like, or Matt Mercer, right? That are like, the campaign is about your characters. Even looking back at Skull and Shackles, I feel like after watching 600 episodes of One Piece, I feel like I could have done more towards like building the world around the characters. Now, that's probably the campaign I built the world around the characters the most, would be the Skull and Shackles game I ran. I mean, I made it my goal to write the second half of the campaign about the 6 main characters. I feel like I could have done even more with that. I could have done a better job with that. Is there anything I could be doing better? Let's see. The more I play 5e, the more I hate the combat. I'm looking forward to more Pathfinder. Okay. I mean, so you're saying I should do more Pathfinder? Because that's what I am going to do, more Pathfinder. Nice. All right. Let's see. Next up, we've got... what am I doing right? Engaging NPCs. Cool. Cool. What could I be doing better? Cutting encounters if they start to drag too long. I can feel that. Introducing scenes without objectives. You can let people meander through the scene or map without having a precise objective from the start. And giving characters more free time. I'm deeply curious who submitted this, but I am not going to look. I'm trying not to look at who submitted what. I do agree that I need to get better at cutting encounters that are dragon, for sure. I would love to be able to cut some of these encounters. I even offer sometimes. I'm like, hey, these guys don't want to fight anymore. And it's like, nah, we're still in the encounter. Okay, all right, we're still going. The free time aspect of the characters. That's interesting. We'll have to see if there's more suggestions on that. All right, let's see. What am I doing right? Great improv, allowing player agency, giving players the rope they ask for sometimes. I'm assuming this is the rope to hang themselves with. Maybe it means downtime, Cryptic Muffin. Yeah, Major Student says this guy needs to check out Mythic if he wants some meandering. No shit. Also, I see Celastus 5e BG3 is a DM who really wanted to play another system but is making it work. Amen. Absolutely. And what could I be doing better? Nothing. Nothing. You popped out of your mom's vajayjay perfecto. Thanks. Let's see. What am I doing right? Oof, this is an expansive list of things. Well-prepared and expansive games. World feels textured and alive, like there is mystery in any corner. Okay, yeah, all right, like that. Virtual Tabletop is professional and polished with features for ease of use. Yeah. Foundry updates, good times. There are many captivating graphical effects for terrain, spells, abilities. Tokens have expert touch coming out of Photoshop. NPCs in your settings have so much life to them as you make them into fully fleshed out thought constructs. Habit of bringing out the best in the modules you run. using Solomon-like judgment to trim parts you deem insufficient and replace them with materials superior to the original writers. Wow. Wow. In spite of the perilous adversity the players face in the games, the environment is a safe place for people to express themselves. Okay. There is a sense of assurance that due to your vast experience as a DM and player, you understand what an acceptable level of challenge is for your party. Furthermore, you do a good job of being accountable to your party, recognizing when something becomes unbalanced, and then correcting in a way that is not disruptive to the story. This sounds like a Red-Handed Doom situation. There was a lot of that in Red-Handed Doom. You do a good job of curating the player roster to ensure the group will have a positive dynamic, strong likelihood for campaign completion. Overall, your games are a delight to participate in because your hard work shows in every scene and encounter. Wow. I have some allergies I gotta deal with. That's a cold, obviously. All right. So, what could I be doing better? I'm not the easiest person to communicate with. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah. Okay. I do agree. I wouldn't want to have to talk to me. Alright, let's see what we got here. Scroll. Alright. What am I doing right? Games have a wonderful narrative. Combats are interesting with a variety of combat styles to them. What could we be doing better? Combat-wise, environmental effects, traps happening in combat like rock slides, floods, heavy winds, etc. There are too many homebrew rule changes during a single year. Yeah, I agree. Completely. And as far as the combat environmental effects thing goes, yes, that is something that, like, Orf and I have been talking about for years now. I don't know if Orf has actually started doing it in his games, but it's definitely one of those things that I talk about, but then I never actually do. Let's see. What am I doing right? Player inclusion, map design, NPC engagement, promptness, reliability of games running, and telling players no but. No but. I like that. Yeah, that's pretty good. Did we talk about that in like a vodcast when we did like the yes and versus no? Because, like, no but, that's where it's at right there. What could I be doing better? Drink more water. So I feel like drinking more water, I tried that, alright? I spent a whole month drinking a gallon of water every day. And do you know what happened? I had to take a pee in the middle of a D&D game. That's right. We had to go on a break because I had to pee in the middle of a D&D game. It was terrible. Peeing in the middle of D&D, how disrespectful. So I went back to being incredibly dehydrated, and I haven't looked back, mostly because my tendons are too dry to turn my head. Alright, let's see. What am I doing right? Good variety of settings and tones. Okay. What can I do better? Run less games. Damn, bro. I know there's a good demand for you on the server, but you should be able to make time for yourself as well. Wow. That is... I actually think that I could run better games if I ran less games. So I feel like flu and illness cause dehydration. Oh, man. You were healthier. Oh, my God. Wow, guys, let's try to focus on the Dungeons and Dragons and the Pathfinder. We don't need this medical stuff. This whole theory about hydration, is it even scientifically valid? Has it been proven? We don't know for sure. They say a human being's 4% water. If I go to 100, won't I explode? That's a theory. All right, let's focus on the survey. Okay, man, take breaks, less games, drink water. You guys just don't want me around. I see what it is. That's fine. You could have just told me that. What am I doing right? I like that you aren't afraid to flip the hard mode switch when it makes sense for the game. When it makes sense for the game. Yes. Yes, that's when I do it. I like that you flesh out the NPCs to make them living beings instead of cardboard cutouts. What could you be doing better? Come back to me on that. Okay. I will come back to you on that. Alright, let's see. What am I doing right? Too much to list. Aww. But the main thing is creating an environment for fun. I like that. An environment for fun. Because in a way, as a living game engine, that's what a DM is doing, right? Yeah. Yeah. Alright, let's see. What could I be doing better? Consistency with the rules. Cry. This year we had 3 major world patch updates, but a lot of changes mid-campaign. Now, sometimes I will say that you can belittle players when they ask questions. Oh. Yeah, there's that asshole part I was worried about. Yeah. There are a couple of instances that do come to mind. I'm sure there's way more instances that don't come to mind. Yeah. I don't know what to do about that except to try better, honestly. So if you have this happen to you, if you see this happening, I mean, immediately just call me out on it. This is something that I've been working on for years. So if I come across as too much of an asshole, if I come across as too much of an angry old man, too boomer for my own good. Not that I am a boomer, but if I come across as too boomer for me, just tell me. If you don't want to tell me in front of people, like message me immediately and be like, hey, that wasn't cool. Because I need to know. In the same way that I have to message people in our games and say, hey, you need to ease up on this guy, or hey, that's not appropriate for the table. You guys don't see a lot of these things. Sometimes I have to do them out loud in front of everybody, but often I have to coach people in private chat and say, hey, this is a group game, this is a collaborative game. We don't act like that. We don't talk to people like that. It's crazy, right, that you would need to coach people and talk to people like that, but it's also not crazy at all, because people are people and people are messy. You know what I mean? And again, the whole point of this is about accountability and, learning from your mistakes. So in the same way that I have to coach players to behave themselves in a group, I am a player as well. So if at any point you see me out of line, if you're watching a stream and you think that I was out of line, you are empowered to message me and tell me, like, hey, you were kind of rough on those guys, or hey, you were kind of a dick to that player, or hey, there's a better way you could have handled that. You're not overstepping, right? Like I am inviting that criticism. I am inviting that that coaching. So please don't shy away from it. All right. Let's see. What am I doing right? It is clear you work hard to tell the story you want to tell and create the experience you want the players to have in the game. It is evident that you enjoy doing what you do, even when people are fucking things up for others. Damn. What can I do better? Keep your health up. I'm not sure if you were struggling with this, but I always assume people can be healthier than they are. Do good by you, and I think you'll continue to be great. Dang. You guys are making me concerned. Am I really not taking good care of myself? He says, getting over a Christmas cold. Alright, what am I doing right? I think your GM style is open and fair. You root for the players, but run your enemies intelligently, and you finish your campaigns. Yeah, I like that part too. What could you be doing better? I'm not saying that you aren't, but having be careful with yourself and your health, physical and mental. DM fatigue is real. Burnout is real, especially with all the WotC shit going on. Make sure you are looking out for your well-being. Damn, guys. Hey, been lurking for a few minutes now. Boogeyman recommended me to you. I need to head out, but I'll drop you a follow. Oh, that's nice. Thank you, Kyoko. Alright. Damn, guys. All right. I will start taking better care of myself. What can I be doing? What am I doing right? That they're not sure. What could I be doing better? Maybe kill your players less. Okay. Who submitted this one? All right, damn. Okay, I guess I'll try. I don't know. Kill my players less. Okay. Let's see. To the FBI agent listening, they mean the players' characters. I don't actually kill my players. That's important. If in case this ends up in a courtroom, I do not kill my players. That's important. I want to make sure that's out there. I do not kill my players. That's not what they're saying. Okay. Just make sure you understand that. All right. What do I do right? Being flexible. Okay. What can I do better? Real talk. Oh my goodness. I don't know if I want to read this one. Oh my goodness. Some of your players are hard to like. Dang. That's not a me thing though. I guess it is if I'm curating my players. Wow. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, I guess like in Bug's life, when you're the boss, it's everything's your fault. So for all you players that acted up this year, I'm gonna get you. We're gonna work on that, I guess. All right. Let's see. What else we got? Oh. This person did not feel like answering these questions. They only wanted to tell me how they felt about DM inspiration. Good for you. Let's see. What do we got here? What am I doing right? Your dedication always shows through. How much time and effort it really makes everyone who is a part of it feel special. Aw. That's why we stream the prep, baby. What could I be doing better? Organization and time management are tough, aren't they? Yeah? Yeah? Dang. Okay. Wow. Let's see. Alright. We got two more, and then we'll work on the next part of this. Let's see. Ooh, this one's rough. Okay. What am I doing right? Boss encounters, NPC role plays, epic feel, high level play. Okay. I didn't think my high level play was that good, but alright. What can I be doing better? Let's see. Oh, dang. 19 sessions of Drellin's Ferry, Red Hand, is a bit too much. Also, sometimes it feels like you are talking more than the players. Oof. I have big concerns about that sometimes. Yeah, I could kind of see that. Something that I've noticed in Outlaws is Outlaws does not have a B team currently, and it has very like, oh, thank you. It has very 34 months. God damn, it's got a lot of background characters, but not a lot of like DM NPCs, and I think that that's been very good because I do find myself talking a lot less in those games. It's very much like, what is the party doing, right? Because there are no NPCs to like jump in and take any of the spotlight time away. So one of the things I found myself having to do in Red Hand is because Red Hand had 6 players, which I felt was too many players. It had 6 players, one of which was a Beast Heart. There was a lot of people that had a lot of things they wanted to say, and there wasn't a lot of time for them to say all the things they wanted to say. And so like the NPCs in that campaign, I really tried hard to like draw them back into the background a lot more. And kind of free that up. As far as like 19 sessions at Drellin's Ferry,